Welcome back to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So we're diving back into Kecia's tour life, her blog. It's always such a good source for, music and travel stories.
Absolutely. She really puts you right there on the road with her. And this time, we're looking at something pretty special she wrote about recently.
Right, this involves Chazz Palminteri.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, Kecia seeing his one-man show, A Bronx Tale, and actually getting to meet him afterwards.
That's fantastic. Now, people know Chazz Palminteri, the actor. Great films, The Usual Suspects, obviously. Bullets Over Broadway.
Analyze this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a really solid career. But A Bronx Tale is different. It's like his story.
Exactly. It didn't just start as a movie script people might know. It actually started as his own one-man play.
Yeah, he wrote it himself, based on his childhood. Growing up in the Bronx, his real name, Chazz Lorenzo Palminteri. He put his own life on stage.
Which is incredible enough, but then you hear about the performance itself. In the one-man show, he plays 18 different characters.
18? Yeah, think about that. Bringing all those people from his memory to life, different voices, mannerisms, everything.
Wow, you can just imagine how captivating that must be to see live.
Totally. And it clearly was.
Yeah.
That original play, that performance, it was so strong that it eventually led to the film adaptation that many people know and love.
Right, the film came later. But Kecia's experience wasn't her first time seeing the stage version?
No, she mentions on the blog she'd actually seen it before, back in 2023 down in Cincinnati.
Okay, so she knew how powerful the show was.
She did.
Yeah.
And apparently, it really impressed her then, Palminteri's passion, the whole performance.
So what prompted the second trip? Just wanting to see it again?
Well, that was part of it, I'm sure. But the key thing, the real motivator she mentions, was missing out on the meet and greet in Cincinnati.
Okay. The missed opportunity.
Exactly. It seems like that really stuck with her. So when she saw the show was coming to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster, PA.
At
Right.
the American Music Theater on May 18th, just this past May 2024, she decided this was her chance.
And she went for it. How far was that drive for her?
Get this, an 8-hour drive.
8 hours. Seriously.
Yep. Just for the show and, crucially, for that meet and greet opportunity she missed before. That's dedication.
That really is. Wow. And she talks about the theater in Lancaster.
She does. She mentioned it was a very intimate setting.
Which for a one-man show, especially one this personal, that must make a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In a smaller space, that connection is just amplified. It's not like watching someone on a distant stage. It feels like they're right there, sharing a story directly with you.
Yeah, you're really drawn into his world, into those memories.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And Kecia felt that. Even seeing it the second time, she wrote about how the audience was just completely spellbound. Palminteri just holding everyone's attention.
That kind of stage presence, managing all those characters,
Yeah.
it's a rare skill.
It really is.
Yeah.
It takes incredible craft, but also I think that deep personal connection he has to the material. It's his life. You feel that authenticity.
So the show ends, and then comes the main event for Kecia this time around, the meet and greet.
Yeah, you can sense the anticipation in her writing. This is the whole reason for that long drive.
What is it about meeting artists, do you think? That brief moment.
It's that human connection, isn't it? A chance to say, thank you, or your work meant something to me. It makes the art and the artist feel more real, more accessible.
So how did the actual meeting go? She must have been nervous.
She mentions being excited, a bit nervous, yeah, but she went right up to him.
And what did she say?
She told him straight out how much she loved the film, loved the play, and importantly, told him she'd driven 8 hours just to see him and hopefully meet him.
And his reaction?
Apparently, he was genuinely surprised and pleased. She includes his quotes like, "You drove all this way to see me."
Huh. That's great.
Yeah, and then, "Wow, I'm glad you made it, and it's so good to meet you." It sounds really warm and appreciative.
That's lovely. It shows that even for established stars, that kind of effort from a fan still means something.
Absolutely. It's a reminder of the impact their work has.
So they got a photo, exchanged a few words.
Yeah, a quick photo, a few more words. She says the whole interaction was maybe 6 minutes long.
6 minutes after an 8-hour drive.
But she writes that it made the entire trip completely worth it.
It's amazing how powerful those short encounters can be. That validation, that moment of connection.
It really is. It's the quality, not the quantity, creating a lasting memory.
And there was another layer to this for Kecia too, wasn't there? Something about her dad.
Yes, that was a really touching detail. She mentioned that A Bronx Tale was a favorite film of her father's.
So seeing the show, meeting the creator, it probably had this whole other level of meaning for her.
You have to think so. Connecting with something her dad loved, sharing that experience in a way, it adds this beautiful personal dimension to the whole adventure.
Definitely makes it even more special than just meeting a celebrity.
For sure.
So, looking back at Keisha's whole experience, that drive, the show, the meeting,
Hmm.
what's the big takeaway here?
I think it really comes down to passion. Something genuinely matters to you. If an experience calls to you, sometimes you just have to go the distance. Literally, in her case.
Go the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let those opportunities slip by, especially if you missed one before.
Exactly. Her story is a great example of that. Making the effort, chasing that connection, and finding it incredibly rewarding in the end.
A fantastic story, and really captures the spirit of her blog, Keisha's Tour Life.
It really does, that sense of adventure and pursuing the things that move you.
If you want to read more about Keisha's adventures in music, travel, and her take on other live events, you can check out her blog at keishastourlife.com.
And she's also active on social media. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search for Keisha's Tour Life.
Well, that feels like a good place to wrap this deep dive. A truly inspiring story from Kecia.
Agreed. And a good reminder for all of us.
And we'll leave it there, echoing Keisha's own words. Until next time, keep exploring and following your dreams.